One thing I forgot to ask you about the other day. Looked like you were sporting a new look on the sidelines. Had some glasses. Is that something
No,
you
my
just?
contact was out, so
Oh, is that what it
I
was?
need a little help.
Also, one thing that dropped, I think, after we spoke to you on Wednesday, the Menno Westwood video featuring you and the coaches. How did that come about? And was that something they approached you about? Was that
Yeah,
Martin's?
Ken asked us to help him out, and we support Ken. He does an unbelievable job, and he's got yeoman work, in that space. But Ken does a great job, and anything we can do to help Ken, we will. We're here for him because he's been great for us.
Looking ahead to this final game, as far as regular season goes, with this group of seniors. I mean, what's this group of seniors meant to you?
Yeah, it's a special group. There's a bunch of them that have been here for a while. You still have remnants of the COVID kids. I think Alex Johnson's in year 6. Kenny Churchwell is. Some of those kids that got the extra year of eligibility. But they've been, really the standard for this football team. Their work ethic that they show up with every day, their attention to detail, how involved they are in meetings, how involved they are in training sessions, what they were like in the off season with KB and the strength and conditioning stuff. They've been fantastic. We have a great group of senior leaders here, and this one's weird because it's not the last game. So, we know we got one more with them. It's those bowl practices leading up to the last day when you start to really think about it. But it's the last time where the home crowd's going to see them, so that's why you honor them on senior day.
Coach, you talked about how USC is more of a passing team, but to be able to hold them to only 3 rushing yards, and a lot of that has to do with tackles for a loss, the sacks that the defense gets at, and then just to be number 1 in rush defense, what does that mean for this team?
Obviously you have to stop the run in football, and it's a credit to our guys on the defensive side of the ball, our coaching staff and our players. Our players executed. They don't they throw the ball more than they run the ball, but they still run the ball, and they've run the ball a lot, very successful on other teams. But for us to take away an entire phase of the game and make it one-dimensional was kind of what the game plan was on defense, and I thought they did a great job. So, and they've been really, really good against the rush all year long. And they're going to have to be because this is the best rushing team we're going to play with Cal and Jade not coming in here on Saturday. So we got to continue to be able to stop the run, and the real good football teams in college football can stop the run.
How's Jay Toya looking?
Jay's good. Jay will practice today. He'll be available today. Colin Schlee's available today. So all of our guys that were banged up a little bit, I think, are going to run around today. So.
Who were some of the personnel on Cal's defense that really kind of jump out at you on film?
Well, the young freshman linebacker, Cade, is a really, really good player. He got hurt for a little bit in the D game against Stanford, but he'll come back. Sounded like he practiced and he played. There's a lot of veteran there. They lost Jackson Sermon, who I thought was one of the best linebackers in the conference, and just a really, really good player. Had been around and played a lot of football and did a lot of different things. They're playing some young guys that are really productive. Justin and Peter Sermon, their defensive coordinator, do such a good job with their system that it just seems like when someone like Jackson goes down and you plug in another linebacker, it's like, holy, this kid's really good too. But I think a lot of the credit goes to their coaching staff in terms of putting those guys in positions to make plays. And, everything is going to be earned on Saturday against that defense. You're not going to get any cheapies against that defense.
Do you pick Femi's brain at all, considering he was just there last year?
We haven't had a chance to sit down and visit with Femi yet, just because of the class schedule. But we'll talk to him.
You've probably been busy with the game plan, but any nostalgia knowing that this is the final Pac-12 game?
No, not really. I mean, I just haven't really thought about it. Not that I just really haven't thought about it. So it's been, since Saturday, you're back in early Sunday morning and getting ready and game plan. And then because of Thanksgiving, everything's kind of accelerated. So, we had a team Thanksgiving dinner last night. Normally Tuesday night's another big night for us film-wise, so everything's been kind of jammed in. So I haven't had a chance to kind of reflect back upon that. So,
is there any Pac-12 stadium, that you're going to miss playing in?
Yeah, I mean, I loved Outson. Obviously, that's a truly special place in this league. But I really enjoyed playing at Washington. But we're going to play at those again because we're traveling together. So the two that I enjoyed, Washington, I think maybe because of the rivalry that they had with Oregon when you went up there, they brought it. And that's what I love about the Washington fans. And then obviously the Oregon fans are special. So those are the two that I always really enjoyed. But we're going to play them, so the sentimentality on that isn't, you don't really think about, we're not going to be at Oregon, we're not going to be at Washington, because either they're going to come here or we're going to go there. So that rivalry will still exist, at least with 3 of the schools that we were in the conference with.
When you think about the memories in this conference, is it more about the games or is it about the relationships with some of the other coaches around the
I think
league?
it's all. I don't think there's one. There's not. I'm not writing a story, so I can think about anything I want to think about. So there's some great relationships with coaches. I had a great experience when I was at Oregon with Mike Riley. Just really enjoyed competing against Mike and the battles that we had. Sark was great. Lane was great. When Lane was at SC and Sark was at Washington. Played against Pete my first year when I was at Oregon. Had a ton of respect for him. Always think the world of Kyle Whittingham and what he was like. David Shaw, who I think is going to be at practice today. But those guys that were in the league for a while. The Dennis Erickson, who was just an all-time classic. And then when I got in the league, he was at Arizona State, and they were really good when he was at Arizona State. So there's been a few. Mike Stoops, we had some battles with Mike when he was at Arizona and I was at Oregon. We were beating him in a double overtime game, to get us to a chance to play in the Rose Bowl. So all of them, I think those relationships, the games, the certain memories, you're always going to be, always going to think back of those and really fond memories.
Thanks, Bill.
We good, guys?
Thank you.
Enjoy the beautiful weather.
Yep.
Thank you.